it for writing and drawing. On this picture show leaf and flower. Paper was most useful for books. For hundreds of years, people wrote books. They used pen and ink, and it took a long time. Then one of the most important inventions appeared.
Okay, thank you, Tanwarit. So paper. So the paper, if, as you can see there in your book, if you will going to see your book, that is a piece of a paper during the times. So the Chinese invented papers about 2,000 years ago. So it's about 2,000 years ago when they invented the paper. So it is made from, what does it made, the paper? It is made of, what was that? It is made of, what does the paper made of? Yes, very good. It is made of plant. The paper is made of plant, and they use for wrapping things, then they use it for writing and drawing on this paper. So why your meeting will end in 10 minutes. If it is end with 10 minutes, then we will going to log in it again. Then this picture shows leaves and flowers. Paper was most useful for books. So the paper, they use it to make a book. For hundreds of years, people wrote books. They used pen and ink, and it took a long time. Then one of the most important invention appeared. So Chinese invention, they invented this one, the paper, so that they can use to write. They can use, it's very useful. Paper is very useful. Just even nowadays, paper is very useful for us. Okay, so we will go to printing. Printing. So who among of you want to volunteer? Who will read about printing? Here, about printing. Who want to volunteer?
Again.
Trina one, you want to read?
Yes.
Okay, can you please read about printing? Then later on, I will call another, okay, about printing.
Printing. Chinese people first printed on cloth more than 2,000 years ago. They cut a pattern on a block of wood. They put dye on the wood block. Then they press the block onto the cloth. The block printed the pattern. They can use the block again and again. Sometimes the cloth was silk. The Chinese invented silk too. This piece of silk is a beautiful curtain. Later, the Chinese printed words on paper. They cut words on the wood block. This was difficult work. They put ink on the block. Then they pressed the paper onto it. The wood block printed the words onto the paper.
Next page.
The printed one page at a time, but they cloth print with the block many times. They can make many copies of each book. More people can have books. The old, the oldest printed book in the world is from China. China. It is more than 1,100 years ago.
Yes, years old. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Timawan. So here, printing is one of the invention. The first one is paper. Then the next one is about printing, the invention of the Chinese. So Chinese people first printed on cloth more than 2,000 years ago. Say they just printed on the cloth. I think it still exists, that one, because most of it, they in a cloth, you can see that one Chinese sailing the same like that one. They cut a pattern on the black of wood. So from wood, they will curve it into the wood. Then they put dye on the wood block, and then they press the block onto the cloth. The block printed the pattern. So what they will going to do, they will going to a wood block. Then they will going to carve it. They will going to form it. Then after that one, they will put some, what they call this, some ink or some color. Then they will going to press that one in cloth. So that was the printing. So we will go, so we are done already with the paper and printing. So we will going to go to the compass. Compass, the third invention of the Chinese, and that is the compass. So who among of you want to volunteer? Except Tanawan and Trina Von. So who among of the others who want to read? Who want to volunteer? Anyone? Come on, don't be shy, kids. Who want to volunteer? Who want to volunteer to read? Any one of you? How about the others? Only the two of them, only Tanwarit and Trinabon. Anyone? Nawin, can you read it? About the compass. Puripat, Chayapon, Narawadi, Punpuanrat. Don't be shy.
I can
What?
again.
About the compass, I want other student also to read, because you and Tanwarit done already. How about the others? Surawit, do you want to volunteer it? Why?
No.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Nawin, can you do it? Nawin. Hello, Nawin. Can you do it? Nawin? Can you read it? Yeah, can you read it about the compass in your book?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe what do you call this? Maybe our Zoom will be cut off again. You will log in again, okay?
Paper printing. Chinese people first print on cloth more than 2,000 years ago.
Now
They
we go to the compass. Compass, the third invention. The third invention.
หน้า
Compass.
91 compass
Yeah, the compass.
what a compass
The third invention. A long time ago. Wait. Here. Page 91.
91.
This one. Here, the compass.
Compass. A long time ago, sailors used the stars. At night, they called fly north, south, east, and west. When it was coldly, they could not see the stars, and something they lost their way. The Chinese made a discovery, a special stone made a metal needle point to north. They put the needle in a bowl of water and it point the north. It worked at sea when it was cold and completely dark. It worked on land. In the time, two people could fly north, and then they could follow the map. They could find their way to new place.
Okay, thank